Hello and welcome to this episode of My Energy Story. And with me, I have Ghada, and she's going to take us through her version of My Energy Story and how she has come to us far in her field in Lebanon. Hello, welcome, Ghada.
Hi.
Yeah, so thank you for having me. So before I go right into the whole conversation, I'll let you introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and where you are.
Okay, I'm Ghada. I'm a mechanical engineer by education and an energy consultant by profession. But most importantly, as you said before, I'm an energy warrior. With this growing passion to green energy, I have decided to devote my career path towards a greener, more sustainable future. So I have a degree in mechanical engineering from the Lebanese University Faculty of Engineering, which is, by the way, the toughest school of engineering in Lebanon. It's known for that. And then, after getting more passionate about green energy, I decided to get my master's degree in energy studies at the American University of Beirut, AUB. And I actually got, back then, I got a full scholarship and I graduated last fall. Yay. And also, I am a certified energy manager, a CEM, by the Association of Energy Engineer. And over the past 5 years, I have attained extensive experience in various aspects of renewable energy, energy efficiency, and sustainability, and have been involved in technical support, strategic management, and development of major green projects in Lebanon.
So you said something along the lines of mechanical engineer and energy consultant by profession. Can you explain what that means?
Because when you graduate from the School of Engineering, whether you're a mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, civil engineer, you have various of options for you to work on. You can be like, as I did when I graduated, I worked mechanical project engineer. I was a site engineer. I did like mechanical stuff, the design, the mechanical systems and buildings, the site engineering. But when you say you're an energy consultant, then you work in the you have the bigger picture, you work in all energy aspects,
Yeah.
and you work in energy efficiency and sustainability and renewable energy, in policies, regulations, finances of these topics.
Yeah. Oh, I think I understand what you mean at that point. So it's pretty much so it embodies everything in the energy sphere
Yes,
of the day. So
yes.
it's not about, oh, I'm a mechanical engineer, I'm only doing stuff related to mechanical engineering. No, so you're doing
Of course not.
That's quite interesting. And this kind of beats me because I get questions a lot along the lines of so I studied electrical engineering in school, or I studied mechanical engineering in school, and I want to do something related to renewable energy. Then how do I transfer? How do I transit from that? And then you have done so very beautifully, right? You have to, you have. So, it will be very wrong if I don't ask how you did that, because people are definitely going to ask me further questions on how to transit between degrees and into professions in terms of still in the energy industry.
Actually, I don't call it a transfer because, when you have a background in engineering, you are already eligible. You have the technical background, you have the potential to work in renewable energy, whether to work in solar PV system, in CSP systems, or in energy efficiency, energy modeling, So because they are all related, when you do an energy model, of course, you're going to need a mechanical engineer. Of course, you're going to
Yeah.
need an electrical engineer. You will need a civil engineer.
Yes.
So if you hold this background in engineering, you are able, of course, to work in renewable energy or green energy or energy efficiency. And how funny it is, how did I get into the renewable energy world? When I graduated in college, we were like, the traditional engineers. We're gonna go with big consultancy firm design.
Yeah.
I wanna design the biggest tower in the world. We graduate so excited. And then I did couple of months working in design. I was like, it's too boring. Things repeat itself. I don't want to do that. And
Yeah.
then started as a PV engineer, photovoltaics. It was like company, and things like 6 years ago, things were still booming in Lebanon. Renewables were
Yeah.
still like baby steps. And I entered into a world I know had no clue what is a PV.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that job. I was like, okay, photovoltaics. And I studied it at work.
Yeah.
I had trainings, and I ended up like, I ended up working in photovoltaics. So I didn't learn anything about them in college, but you don't need.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's opportunity. Sometimes it's someone who guides you, who advises you. So that's why now you see a lot of graduates are like immediately doing final year projects in renewables, or energy models of buildings, which is quite
Yeah.
nice, because back then we had no clue about it in university.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, everything you just said, I would say it relates to me because I studied economics for my undergrad, right? And see me,
Wow.
I know you're surprised, right? And I'm in the energy industry. And yeah, like, and I
Me.
didn't want to do the regular economics bank thing. I'm like, nah, it's
Mm.
boring to. And then I was looking for ways to which it would tie into something different. And I loved the fact that there was power. And in my own country where electricity is deficient, I could do something about it. And then I found a PV company to work. I had to learn everything on the job because you don't find
Exactly.
it wasn't taught in school. Like at that time, it wasn't taught in school. So I've had to learn on the job, get everything on the job. And then I did my master's in energy economics. And I mean, here I am today. And that takes me to my next question, which is, I mean, we always get to be asked these questions. What did you want to be when you grow up? Like, did you think you're going to be a mechanical engineer? When they ask you, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up, Kata? And then,
Funny enough, I always wanted to be an engineer. Before, like when I was like 10 years old or less,
yeah,
I was so dreamy. I always in school like I want to be an astronaut, like as if I can reach the stars now. So I always told my mom like I'm gonna build a big rocket. I'm gonna hit the stars. And then like growing up, because as kids we look at the stars, we are discovering everything around us.
yeah,
And I'm still into space stuff and
mm-hmm,
astronomy. I love it. But
yeah,
like growing up, getting to be more mature, getting to be like older, of course, and in
yeah,
school, like everyone who asked me, like everyone knew that Ghada will be an engineer.
mm-hmm,
And I decided I want to be a mechanical engineer like in high school.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. I mean, yours has transitioned, and it's still the same thing for you at the end of the day. And what did you feel like being? I mean, first question is, what is it? What does it feel like being an engineer in Lebanon? I don't even know what the numbers are in terms of the working sphere, in terms of women in engineering industry in Lebanon, and how has it been for you working there up until today?
In Lebanon, parents like their kids to be doctors or engineers. You have
Ah,
these two options for your
already.
parents to be happy.
Mm-hmm,
And actually, my parents always wanted me, like for the last second when I was applying to college,
mm-hmm,
they wanted me to get into med school because I was rank one at school. I was the super straight A student. Like, why don't you go to med school? Because our parents, usually in Lebanon, we have this mindset like our kids have
mm-hmm.
to be either doctors or engineers. You don't have any other option to make your
Yeah.
parents feel content.
Yeah.
So for me, I wanted either ways. I wanted to be an engineer, and they were eventually very supportive about it. But we have a lot of schools here, private and public.
Yeah.
So a lot of people go to engineering schools, but mostly are in mechanical, especially. You don't see a lot of girls. Like we were in my class in the college, I guess we were 4 girls out of like 60 maybe,
Whoa.
or
That's a
50,
lot.
50 or 60, I guess so. But we were like 5 girls maybe. And the rest, most of the girls in the engineering school went to civil. They didn't go to mechanical, especially
Yeah.
mechanical engineering. You see like mostly it's dominated by men,
Mm-hmm.
especially at workforce,
Yeah.
at work. You don't see a lot of girls in mechanical engineering. Now the numbers are getting bigger, which is great actually, because
Mm-hmm.
we are all learning about gender equality. We are all learning about the awareness and the importance of involvement of women in STEM
Mm-hmm.
and engineering sectors. And we
Yeah.
are quite good. We're excellent, actually.
No, we
We don't
actually
differ
are.
from men. Of course, we don't.
So I'm just going to move on from that to then working on the field now with everything that you do, and then the challenges that come with it.
Oh, a lot, a lot. Actually, I see now, even now, I still see posts for positions for mechanical engineering, and they get like male mechanical engineer. Going wrong with people? What's going wrong? I studied 5 years. I worked hard. I can do anything in mechanical engineering. It doesn't mean that I should be a man in order to do my job good. But until now, you still see that, because you still have people who have this mindset. Challenges a lot, because especially when you go on site,
Mm-hmm.
and when I worked as a project engineer and I had to do on site and I was a team leader,
Mm-hmm.
and there would be like electricians, technicians, everyone, and I'm the one who give the call. I'm the decision maker. And
Yeah.
then when you go and they are usually older than you and you are young, and like you go, it's the first time I go on site, how will they treat me? They look at me like she's a girl. It's like, and they used to call me, on one side they used to call me the girl mechanical engineer.
Wow.
And this really made me angry.
Yeah.
And I said, I will not go into, like, I know they are old school, they are all older than me,
Mm-hmm.
I should learn from them. They are great technicians with great
Mm-hmm.
knowledge. And I actually managed over a few months, until now they call me, and I managed to have a great relationship with them until they liked me a lot. So if I'm not on site, they would call, where are you? Why didn't you come
Yeah.
today? Because you have to show them that you are credible, you can do the job, you have the potential, you have the power, you have the knowledge. It's always hard work. Hard work pays off at the end of the day. But that doesn't mean that you don't get sexism when you're
Yeah.
on job. Always you can do it. Always. Sometimes people like, I don't want the opinion of this girl because she's a girl. I prefer to work with a mechanical engineer who's a man, not a
Mm-hmm.
woman. You get into these situations. At first they bother you, but then you work hard to show everyone, to prove everyone that we are capable. Women are capable to be leaders in STEM sectors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you very much for that. And I think that, I mean, this, which is essentially the reason why I reached out to you to share your story, because you are a female and you are doing really amazing work in the industry, both on the field and in the office. And not everybody sees this, right? In the sense that it ends up getting to people that are still in school at the end of the day to say, okay, fine, if she can't do it, I can do it. If she can go to the field and speak to people that are way older than she is, I can do the same thing for myself. Because at the end of the day, we go through the challenges, we go through the good times, but it's somebody else that sees something different on the outside, right? And from that part, I'm going to ask your certifications in CEM. So this is like the Certified Energy Manager worldwide, right? So because it's just one exam, right? It's the only one that is recognized all over the world, be it Nigeria, be it the US, be it Canada, be it Lebanon. How did you wanted to take the exam, or you were pushed, you were encouraged to take the exam?
Actually, I was following up with the AEE, Association of
Mm-hmm.
Energy Engineers, Lebanon chapter, for the past 2 years, to know, because when you want to do a CM, you are obliged to do a training, and after
Yes.
the training, you do the international exam. Everyone does it. It's the same.
Yeah.
So for over the past 2 years, we didn't have an opening for a CM certificate in Lebanon. And I was waiting it, and it actually opened last summer. And
Mm-hmm.
immediately I just like dived in. I want this certificate because it's amazing, you know. a lot of things you can learn. You share the experience with amazing professionals in the field. So the interaction between people from different backgrounds, this really added to my experience. And the exam is not easy, by the way. You know it. It's I don't know the success rate, but it's like not an easy exam. You need to prepare, you need to study, you need to have experience. So when I got the CM, I was very happy, and now planning to do like more certificates with the AEE.
Huh.
They are actually good. I advise everyone.
Yeah, like the fact that you mentioned that it's actually really hard. So how long did you study for that?
Actually, because I did focus a lot in the trainings. The most important is to be active in the training,
Yeah.
because really, if you focus in the training, it's more than enough. You need like a couple of days, 3 days, and you are ready for the exam.
There's something I always say, right? That we don't know everything. There are parts that are your strong points, and there are other parts that you don't know. And when you're working with these people, working on the field or on site, so how do you handle dealing with things that you don't know and asking for people to help? Are you bold enough to come out to admit that you don't know certain things?
I always ask about things that I don't know. And I ask anyone who knows. I don't care what's the position of this person, even if I'm the manager, I don't care, because if he knows, then he would help me. And seeking knowledge and asking for help is not it should be normal, should be easy, I know people engineers at site, usually I'm the engineer, how gonna ask the technician? I
Yeah.
will sound like I don't know. He will look at me that I'm not qualified enough. Actually, it's the contrary opposite, because this is what happened with me. I always you know I always learned from my team, from the head of service. Until now, I call him like, hey, you're the king of this, tell me what to do, I don't know. And he likes it, and he gives me more support, and I learn. It's a growing curve of learning. Why? There's a lot of people who know and who are experienced in stuff you are not. We can't know everything, it's impossible, you know seeking knowledge is like something you do on daily basis. Until now in my job, I still every day I have something that I don't know. Either I ask someone who I know is specialized in this field and works on it, or I do Google. I do my research.
Yeah.
There are a lot of ways to seek, but never say I don't want to know. Always get the answer, regardless of the way, if you're asking someone or you're doing your own research.
Mm. I mean, that's good to hear. And then kicking off from the consulting bit and the mechanical engineering, what do you plan to do with everything that you've gathered? Do you want to continue working for people, or do you want to like cook up your own, say, consulting firm at the end of the day?
Actually, with the uncertainty with living now, we are living in due to COVID, many thoughts come and go. Sometimes we learned in COVID, like, if you have a plan, do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just like, I'll do it next year, because no
Yeah.
one knows what will happen.
Mm-hmm.
For now, I want to grow in my career. So I got my master's degree. I don't think I want to study another degree like now. I don't think I need it. But I'm into energy policy and energy economics. I think it's an amazing field, and it's like very much needed now, because it's not only the technologies that we have to enhance, it's the policies and regulations which ensure the maturity of these renewable technologies or new
Yeah.
modern technologies.
Very
So for
true.
now, I want just to grow in my career, and that's it.
Yeah, fair enough. And how was it like getting a job right after? So did you get a job right after school, or did you have to search for a while?
Oh, back in 2014. Oh my God, it was so hard. So hard to find a job in Lebanon, because we've been having an economic crisis since before, but it blowed off like in 2019, like with the biggest major events that happened. And with COVID now, things got worse. We've been having like more people who are seeking jobs. So it was so hard to get a job. So hard.
So what did
Extremely.
you do yourself through that period?
I did internships.
Yeah.
I spent my time doing internships, and applying, and it got me like few months until I secured a job, like 6 or 7 months after I graduation, until I get like it paid a job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was
And then
hard.
and then you left that after and then went for masters.
No, no, no. I just worked for 3, 4 years. And then I decided, like, I want to go into energy. This is what I want. So I
Oh, then
advise
you,
everyone who
yeah.
graduates from school, don't like you graduate, don't go for masters directly. There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of programs, you know? So work, get into the market, get into the business, get into the career
Yeah.
life, see what you like, because in every degree, in economics, in your degree, how many options do you have to work on? And thank God, greatly you chose the best sector for me, which is energy.
Yeah, yeah.
So yay.
I mean, that's the truth. And what you just said, I tell my siblings, right? And I tell friends around me because it's a different thing between going for your bachelor's and going for master's because master's is a bit more defined. It's like you're doing the big boy thing now. So I say, why don't you taste what the job market is like? Do certain types of jobs, know the ones that you like first. So we give you an understanding of, okay, I don't think I would do good in this particular job, so I should go study this. So I mean, you having to have said that just makes it known that yes, me and you, we both agree. Finish your bachelor's, work for a couple of years, understand where you want to fit in, and you can go back to school and then study that which you like after having worked for a period of time because it will end up giving you a bit more understanding in the classroom to say, okay, this is why this thing didn't work back when I was working. This is why it is working now. So it gives you a bit more understanding. And then after masters, how long did you? So did you go back to the previous job?
No, no, I was working with masters. I was a
Oh,
full
you.
timer with masters.
Oh,
Actually, I used to, since I've been always working 3 jobs. But now, no, I'm not, because I was until 2019, end of 2019, and
yeah.
later, no, no, one job, and it's enough.
Okay.
But I had my master's degree. I grew to be independent. I always wanted to be this independent woman.
Okay.
And that's why, and I like to have, and I want to have balance. Okay, I'm career oriented, I'm a nerd a lot of times. I love my job, my specialty. I work hard on myself, but at the same day, I want to make money, I want to travel, I want to enjoy life. Because if you didn't
Mm-hmm.
recharge energy from having fun, from family gatherings, friends, outings, you won't be able to work hard when you are going
Yeah,
to
that's
grow in
true.
your career, right?
Yeah.
So I was doing masters. I had a full-time job, and
Yeah.
I did private tutoring for college students and for high school students. And I had several freelance projects to work on. So I was someone who barely gets a 6 hours of sleep, but I was happy back then. Now, no, I only have one job, but it's good. I needed a break after
No, I
all
mean,
this chaos I was living in. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's, no, I had to ask that question because it kind of looked like, were you sleeping at all with everything that you were saying to us? But I mean, it's good to understand that now it's just one. And then, so after masters, how long did it take you to find this one that you're currently working now? Because, like you said, you graduated in 2020. And like I
Yeah.
said, it's still the period where COVID was still a bit more active. So, how was the job market in Lebanon and how long did it take you to find where you are now?
The job market is bad, and everywhere over the globe it's like we're on hold. And
Yeah.
even if the market is recovering slightly in some countries because they were
Mhm.
able to react to COVID faster than others,
Yeah.
Lebanon, especially, we don't have COVID. We have a financial crisis, we have an economical crisis, we have a revolution now. People are on the streets. We have really the situation is really disastrous.
Yeah.
And what did I do is that back in summer, I
Mm-hmm.
resigned my old job.
Mm-hmm.
I told them I want to work on my research for the coming few months.
Mm-hmm.
I did. For 4 months, I worked on my research. And before getting graduated, because when you have experience and you are well known in the market, people
We'll look for you.
look for you. So actually, I received a call, and I was like, there's this startup company now. We want you on board. And I was like, okay, why not? And this is it. This is how it happened.
You know what? Okay, what makes me smile about this whole thing is I understand every bit of it, right? Because when you know what you're doing and when you're good at it, people will look for you, like you said, right?
Of
And it
course,
starts with
100%.
when you finish your bachelor's, get a job, right? I'm not saying you must do it, but I'm saying if you have an option, get a job, right? And in that job, you meet people, you network, you go for meetings, you go for conferences, you give out your numbers. They know this is what you know how to do, right? And even when you go back to school, you still have that connection there with those people to say, okay, this is what I'm doing now, this is what I can do. And when you're out of school, when something comes up, you become the first person that comes to their mind because they're like, oh, yes, I know that she can do something like that. And then they end up reaching out to you, of which you have made me understand that consistency and hard work is what you have put into every single thing that you have done thus far. And you have a plan,
Exactly. Yeah,
right?
of
You're
course.
quite meticulous in everything that you have said thus far. Between this and this, I'm not going to sleep for 6 hours because I know I need to make money. I mean, there's the play part, and also there's the part where we need to get serious and do what we have to do. So I'm going to dive in a little bit to something a bit more interesting. So, I mean, this has been interesting anyways. So what do you do for fun aside from energy?
Okay, I'm a hardcore Chelsea fan, football fan. I'm a football
My
addict.
God.
I actually schedule my outings as per the games. I'm a huge fan of the Premier League. I watch mostly all leagues, but a Premier League is my favorite league, of course. And I actually went to London a couple
Mm-hmm.
of years ago to watch Chelsea, either than London is my favorite city.
Mm,
And football for me is a big aspect of my life. You know, it's for me,
yeah.
football is more than a game. Yani in the weekends when there's like games, I would be intense. I'm shouting, yelling. My day could be ruined if we lost, you know, that much. Yes, yes. And we have like I'm actually one of the admins of the Chelsea Football Club in Lebanon, and we
Oh
are
my
registered
God.
in UK. And they are four boys and one girl. Me. So
So
yes,
you are not only an energy warrior, you're also a football warrior, if I do say so myself.
yes.
By the way, how did you
And
come up with the name in the first place, Energy Warrior?
it came up. I was you know I'm a green person and on the personal level I it's a cause for me, you know. I got into this personally because I really care about mother earth, care about the environment, care about the future generations. It's so important. So I was sitting and it just popped into my mind. I'm a warrior, and through everything I have passed through, it wasn't easy for me at all, you know. I've passed through a lot of hard times, and what, I'm a survivor, I'm a warrior. Oh, I'm an energy warrior, and this is how it came.
Yeah, that's good. And this is a lot for me to handle at this point because the fact that you mentioned that it just has not been so easy, right? And then the fact that you mentioned that you've had to pass through all these things, and then you are still standing. In short, you're even doing great. To be honest, you're doing really great. Because I was talking to my
Thank
colleagues on the podcast, and the girl Ohosa, she was like, "I want to know how she does it. She's in Lebanon, she's in the Middle East, and she's an energy warrior." I'm like, I'm like, yeah, okay, I have to ask her how she did this. So this is really good. I do appreciate you doing this with me. And if not for anything, people can take out of it that you can actually have a well-rounded life, a really good life. But the thing is, one has to give for the other.
of course.
There comes a time where you can play. There comes a time when you have to work, right? There comes a time when you maybe, if possible, even cry. There comes a time where you'll be
Of
happy.
course, we all have those downs. I have never thought, why did I get myself into? Oh my god, I'm it's a mess. I'm so angry. I'm so depressed. It's not easy. It's not always bright and fun. And no one reaches, you know, when you want to reach your goals, when you really want to do good in your life, there are gonna be missteps, there are gonna be failures, there are gonna be moments where you feel I want to give it all and just do nothing. But those moments are like at the edge. Either you jump over and become stronger out of them, or like a lot of people do, they don't have the courage to step over, they fail and they keep failing. For me, failing was never, everyone fail. We all fail sometimes. It's normal. Failure is part of life. But what makes people differ from others is like how they deal with failure, you know? Accept it. I'm a human being. I'm not I'm not a superwoman, though I get called this a lot, especially by my family. But like sometimes, no, I'm not superwoman. I can get sick. I don't know stuff. I can do an assignment wrong. It's fine. I'm a human, you know? It's all normal. But what's not good is not to fight, because we all pass through hard times. You know, I actually lost my father in summer, and it was devastating to me. How shall I finish my master's thesis? I couldn't focus. I'm still in grief. What shall I do? And actually he ended up being my motivation, not only my guardian angel. So everything that happens to us, we should go with it and make it help us like move a step forward, even if it's hard.
Yeah.
But everyone can do it. You can do it.
No, I mean, that's true. Just channel the energy to something good at the end of the day, right? Thank you so much for doing this with me. And I hope that everybody that has listened to this thus far has taken something out of this, that you can do anything and it's okay to fail. But the most important thing is for you to not stop, right?
Exactly.
Continue doing it. You failed today, cry if you need to cry. Continue tomorrow, right? There's definitely a time
Of
where
course.
you learn from the mistakes and then you continue doing what you're doing. I wish you all the best in energy,
Thank you so much.
of action. Thank you so much for doing this with me and enjoy the rest of your week.